Hi everyone, it is a hot day today. So it's a perfect time to come out and show you some of the things that have been making my gardening a lot easier as far as watering, as far as maintaining my fountains. I have some new window boxes I hung up that I'm super excited to show you, and I'm going to show you those right away. We're creating some new gardens on the side in kind of a neglected area, and I really want to show you that. But first, thank you to HoseLink for sponsoring this video. I love HoseLink, you guys know this. It's more than just a hose reel, and I hope I can touch on some of that today and show you some more offerings that they have because they have so many things. Let's start over here with the window boxes and some things that we're working on because I really can't wait to show you. I'm excited. So this is a side of our yard. You might remember I installed this HoseLink here last year that is very rarely shown, mostly because there's not a whole lot going on here. But I'm changing that. Check out the window boxes. I am super excited. This is generally the area where we have our debris, our recycling, things like that. So it kind of really gets forgotten. It's where my HoseLink is that I bring outside to do my watering out front. But now I have just added so much charm to this space that we are reworking this entire area. If you caught the video that I posted yesterday in my kitchen, this is my kitchen window, and these are those beautiful geraniums I was showing you with the little bird feeder there. It just adds so much. I just actually scared a bird away, sorry. Someone commented privacy. Yes, it does add privacy. We're very close to the neighbors, but it's also just such a cheerful thing. I've got the HoseLink right here with some other window boxes. I had them hooked up to some drip irrigation. I don't know of a neat way that I could make that happen here along the stucco. And quite honestly, it's just so easy to grab the watering wand and get up in here to water them. So let me show you that a little bit closer. So I'm just letting out a little bit of length on my HoseLink reel, and it allows me to easily get in there. This watering wand is new for me this year, and I absolutely love the soft flow and the reach. It helps. I have a lot of hanging baskets. So that's really it. That's it. Okay, so some of you may remember, look how high these are. Some of you may remember that I had a green window box here. I currently have it beside my feet. I am giving that to my parents. You hear me say that quite often. They actually have the perfect spot for it. I think my dad's gonna paint it tan. If this happens, I'll show you where they put it on their house because I think it's gonna look beautiful. But I added the white here, and I think the white just, it looks so much better. The flowers show up better. In this window box, I have the same geraniums, but I also added some like double yellow begonias and some trailing ivy. I think I am gonna add trailing ivy to the other window box as well. It's the same exact ivy I showed you in the topiary video the other day. So again, super easy to reach, super easy to water. It's just a joy. I love looking at these when I walk upstairs in our house or when I'm at the kitchen window. It's one of those things where, you know, it's just really happy to see that from the inside. For a shorty like me, with as high as this is, super easy, super convenient. Okay, so that is that. And just to show you again how easy this is with the quick connect, and yes, these will work, your HoseLink will work with off-brand. Hook up your slip and slide this weekend for the 4th of July. You don't need the quick connect. This unscrews the whole piece from your hose, and then it's just your standard hose end that will fit with any piece that you might have, any nozzle or anything. Of course, I encourage you to try the HoseLink line. However, this will fit with anything that you prefer. How many times have you guys done one of these? Because I know I have. You kink the hose, and then you try and take the end off to switch or swap something, and it sprays all over the place, and you're really mad at yourself. Well, you don't have to do that now because this, let's make sure it's off. So, okay, it's on still. So we want to turn it off here. So now, just a quick turn, disconnected. Now we line up like this, a quick turn this on, and we're back in business. I love that. I was always one to like kink the hose to switch stuff out, and now we don't have to do that because we have this. So like I said, this area was sorely neglected. This is a site that you guys haven't seen yet. We had some overgrown yews in this area, and we finally took to taking them down. I have a rhododendron here that I'm going to be planting and just revamping this whole side and refreshing it. The yews were so overgrown. You can see here where the moss is growing. It was all out onto our path. They were all woody on the interior, and it was just time to take them down. You can see we cut them, you know, all the branching out as best we could. We still need to get in there and get the remainder out. We'll get what we can. If we leave the roots in there, that's fine, but we do want to get some of these clumps out, and we'll probably end up having to dig out a bunch of roots along the way, but that's just part of the deal when you're digging out really old and established shrubs like that. But it will be nice to have this space refreshed. It's, you know, these shrubs have been here since I moved in, and it's time to put my own stamp on this and make something new. So when I come out here, I just walk with me all the way out. The hose link takes me to the street. If I was on Instagram right now, I would probably play the Doobie Brothers taking it to the street. And then I come back. I pull my hose all the way out because it makes things a little bit easier for me, just to kind of maneuver that I have the length out that I need out here. But I'm really starting to fix things up out here. I left it kind of neglected out here because I was working out back so much, but you can see things are improving. There's improvement. I moved my favorite bird bath out here. I got that bird bath right when I moved in, and it sat by our shed forever. But then I felt like it was too much back there with the fountains and everything else. So now I've got the nice bird bath out here. And yeah, all the perennials are starting to bloom. My neighbor has her pretty buntings up. I think I might put mine up too. But look at these begonia baskets. And we're going to get a little bit closer because I want you to see how pretty they are. I have been spoiled by having the hose link for quite a few years now. I think 6 years is when I first got my first hose link, and there's no going back. If you know, you know. If you have the hose link, then you know. It is definitely a game changer to be able to come out here on my porch, and I'll even switch to that high pressure adapter and give the porch a good rinse off, especially with the pollen. It is so helpful. But look at these amazing, beautiful begonia baskets. I mean, they are just showing off at this point. I'm able to just come in with my wand, and I have it on a little spinny hook, so I spin it around and can continue to water from all different angles there. You can see I have it on a little hook that turns. I don't have this basket lined with anything, so it does drain pretty freely, but I maybe water this, I don't know, maybe once a week, not too often. I mean, I come along and I make sure it's not dying of thirst over here, but yeah, it's doing really well. Morning sun and afternoon more shade here, and they are just happy as can be. So on the rest of the porch, I've got my beautiful geranium and agapanthus and dianthus basket here. Smells so nice. Here is the ivy that I worked on in the kitchen the other day. I'm gonna let that fill in a little bit. This sometimes becomes my makeshift like potting area. I'm sure you guys can relate. Anywhere there's a place to sit and a little bit of shade, that becomes where the plants collect, where we end up keeping things that we need to plant, and I do that too. But I've got the other hanging basket here looking equally as beautiful. This wand is the one that I use I would say most often now, even more than the sprayer that comes with the unit, because I really like to get in low and water at the roots of the plants. And this does that. With having a few fountains and water features in my garden, and you guys that have them know as well, they can get icky and require upkeep. So about a month ago, I got this high pressure nozzle, brass nozzle from Hoselink, and I've been using that to upkeep my fountains. This one I let get a little extra dingy just to show you how the sharp spray from this really helps to clean it up and refresh it. So I'll show you. I've got my quick connect adapter turned off here, just to turn like that. And now we will give the fountain a spray. You can see here my fountain is quite algae covered and kind of gunky. So we'll get this on. It's so important to keep fresh, clean water for the birds and for the pollinators, not to leave the standing water here, so I don't let it go too far gone before, you know, unclogging my pump and getting everything moving and recirculating again here. So I've sprayed off all of the algae that accumulated. I got all the gunk off the pump, and now one final step that I do is I do put a couple drops of an algicide in there that I find helps tremendously. This is called Fount Tack. There's different kinds of algicides. I like to use this one. I've been using it for a couple years. It is safe. It's made for fountains. You don't want to mix this in with your fish or your fish pond, but a couple little drops of this, and it keeps things a little fresher, a little longer in your bird baths and in your fountains. I fill my bird bath with clean water every day, but this process where I come along and spray off any accumulated algae or, you know, unclog the pump and do all that, I do that maybe once a week because, you know, we all have our limits, and my goal is to make sure that there is fresh, clean water out here for the birds. And then once a week I'll come out and I'll do something like this just to get it all spruced up and looking good and operating its best. So I showed this next item on my Instagram in a cute little video I made jumping through the sprinkler, but you guys know these. We love the sprinklers. What says summer more than running through the sprinklers? Not to mention the fact that I've been using this a lot. We've been getting some rain lately, but prior to that, I was pulling this around to all the new gardens that I've made daily. You want to do this in the early morning or later in the evening as the sun goes down. You don't want to scorch your new plants or anything like that. But the boys and I are going to have fun, yes, me too, running through this holiday weekend. It's perfect. This is solid. You know how some of these can be really rinky-dinky and maybe last a season and don't ever really do what you want them to, or they get clogged up. There's actually, if there was any kind of clogging on this, go to the Hoselink website because they tell you how to clean it if you did have to clean it. But you can adjust the spray width here. There's little buttons that allow you to add more streams on either side or close it up to make it wider or narrow. You can adjust, obviously you guys know how far, but this has been a treat. Anytime my kids see me hook this up, they immediately want to go grab their swim trunks and run through it. I've really been enjoying it, and I think you guys might like some of these products too. I hope I really showed you how to, hold on, before I get sprayed. That's another nice thing. Again, how many times did we have something like this? Want to take it off and we had to run back to the faucet or kink it up like this. We don't want to do that. Now, all I have to do is this. That's my favorite part. I have to say, the off nozzle here is genius. If you have other things that you want to use the quick connect adapters on, they sell these separately. So any piece that you buy, the jet nozzle, the long wand, the sprinkler, anything comes with one of these on it. So you can easily swap, onto your hose link system. But if you want to buy one of these separately or add it to other hoses or hose links you have in your garden, you can purchase these separately. I think that these are so smart. This is one of those why didn't I think of that ideas, but I love it. So now I don't have to kink up the hose. I don't have to run back to the faucet and it's turned off. Anyway, wishing you guys a great 4th of July weekend, sprinklers to run through, and happy times. Hope I showed you guys some things you might not have known about through HoseLink, and maybe you'll try some out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video.